Hey everyone, welcome to Billy Ray Garage. This is the first video that I'm making for this channel, so it may be a little crappy, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I have a 2004 Pontiac GTO. I want to build the engine, the suspension, and all that stuff. Now a little history on the car. I bought it brand new in 2004 when I was 20 years old. So judging by the date, you could age me, 40. So over the years, I've had it. Cars run great. Had two issues with it the whole time I've owned it. The clutch fluid drained out, so I changed the clutch. I had a water heater or water pump and radiator go. So the clutch went 6 years ago maybe, and the radiator slash water pump went maybe 14 years ago. But they're all newer. So, but anyway, I bought a lot of parts for this car and I want to share it with you guys on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy the content. So I'll give you a quick tour of the car, see where we stand before we start digging into it, and hopefully you follow along on the journey from going from basically stock to fully modded, and it'll be fun. So stick around, like, subscribe, follow me on my journey. Okay, first things first, let's pop the hood, see what we got. So, like I said, basic GTO 2004. It's got a 5.7 liter V8, which puts out 350 horsepower, not to the wheels. It's only to the engine. I had this thing dynoed and tuned with long tube headers and this K&N cold air intake. I believe after that it made 41 more horsepower, and it's somewhere in the range of 300 to 315 wheel horsepower. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head because I did it so long ago, but give you a quick little tour, show you what I've done so far years ago basically. So as you can see right there, got some SLP long tube headers. They make the car sound great. I put this little Mishimoto catch can on there. I did that maybe about a year or two ago. And obviously the MSD cables for the spark plugs and the coils. Like I said, the water pump's probably about 10-15 years old now. The other things I've done in the car, like I said, the cold air intake. Put that strut tower brace on there. That thing made a big difference in handling. It definitely stiffened up the front end, but I got more stuff to stiffen up the car and the front end, and also you won't be able to see it down there, it's buried down there somewhere, but I got sway bars, Hotchkiss sway bars. They're 3-position adjustable. Right now they're on the second setting, they're right in the middle, so I can move it back one to make it stiffer, which it made a big difference. And I don't know if you noticed before, I even opened the hood, but aftermarket hood, I forgot what this hood was called. And yeah, cat got in here and scratched up my hood, as you could tell. So, no big deal. But when I got the hood, the windshield wiper sprayers, there's no place to put them. You could attach them to the windshield wipers, I believe. I believe there's a kit to do that. But don't need that where we're going, so. This little guy, the windshield wiper fluid tank, that's gonna be, if I could dig it out, it'll come out. So give you more of a tour of the car. As I said before, the clutch I replaced, so I had to change this master cylinder, and that is a pain. Maybe later on in the video series I will show you how to achieve that, because it sucked. It really sucked, but it got done. So we got I believe they're called Bear. I think the company's Bear. They made the rotors, and then Hawk brakes. So drilled and slotted rotors, nothing special. And same thing on the back wheels. Same thing, drilled and slotted rotors, Hawk brake pads. No issues with them whatsoever. They work pretty good. Body-wise, the car's in very good shape. There's no dents, no dings, and just scratches for 20 years. you know, that's to be expected. Also back here, I got an SLP loudmouth exhaust. That thing is stupid loud, and I love it. So that's gonna stay. And being that I did that work already, it's gonna come out. I have a one-piece drive shaft under there too. That's got to come out to get the engine out. I'm probably gonna pull the transmission, and the rear has to drop down for some of the bushing work I got to do. So it's a lot of work that's got to be done, but I can't wait to do it. I want this car to be fast. I mean, we're looking at about probably 425, 450 to the wheels, hopefully. So we will see. I'll give you a tour of the inside of the car. All right, so we're on the inside of the car. I don't know if you can see that. Let me put this light on. But it says 141,112 miles. So definitely got the use out of it for being 20 years old. The interior is very, very clean. It's been garage kept most of its life, so it's saved on a lot of wear and tear and, you know, sun exposure. 6-speed manual, only way to go. Save the sticks. I put a B&M short shifter in there. Definitely made a difference over the stock one. Radio, changed that out a very long time ago. Like, this is back before phones had GPSs. This has a GPS in it. Don't really need it, but at least the car has Bluetooth now because it didn't come with its stock. Some other things I did some gauges here. I got oil pressure and battery voltage because up here you don't have that. Definitely a much needed modification so you could keep your engine alive and tell if it's healthy or not. Other things I did in here, so I believe there's 10 speakers in this car, and I changed all of them except there's like a tweeter. There's a little tweeter under here. That's about the only thing I didn't change. But new speakers, front, back, rear. What else? When I ran the wires for these gauges, a lot of places were saying that they ran it through the firewall down here, and I just did not see any place to do that. So I ended up finding a grommet that is back behind here, back behind the radio, that is in the transmission tunnel, and I was able to sneak the wires up, get them up into here, hook them up, and then there's some fuse. There's a fuse panel down here where I tied in the power, and at some point I will show you how I did it, because obviously it's already done, but I could show you what fuses I used and all that fun stuff. So pedals, still relatively good. Might change them out, but that's for like a little minor detail. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the video or at some other point. More of the back seat, very clean. One problem I did have was I had mice living under my center console, and so I had to rip the whole interior out. I took the seats out. It wasn't very difficult, just long and tedious, and I shampooed the hell out of this thing and cleaned it very, very thoroughly because the mice were living in my center console. They got in the glove box. That's a tour of the inside of the car and the outside of the car. I'm trying to think of any other modifications I might have done since then, and I don't think there are. So, yeah, I mean, the car runs fine. The only thing that's questionable is my coolant gauge. That thing's been acting up. Like, it goes high, low, sits in the middle for like the first 20 minutes. It sits at the proper temperature for the first 20 minutes of driving, and then it starts flying around. I don't know if it's a thermostat. I don't know if it's the sensor that's in the engine block. I'm gonna have to find out at some point. So I'm gonna be changing all that stuff out. Radiator, thermostat, new hoses. I'll give you a tour of all the things that I have. Okay, we're up in the spare bedroom where I keep all my parts, because that's what spare bedrooms are for. wasted space, not anymore. Car parts, boom. So, give you a quick review of what I got so far. Probably have some more parts coming later. I'm thinking about maybe a big brake kit or something, but that's down the road. That'll be like one of the last things I do if I do it. So just give a quick tour of what I got. So we'll start over here with the intake manifold. Got a fast 92mm intake manifold buried in this box here. I believe this is white box here. That's 92mm throttle body, cable driven. Precision Racing 25cc combustion chamber heads with dual springs, and hopefully they make some great power out of that thing. Some other things we got over here, the tow rods. They're on the back of the car. The stock ones are really tiny. Got all the suspension bushings here for the most part. Brand new control arms and ball joints for the front. Holley valve covers, coilovers. What else we got? We got some motor mounts, battery relocation kit. Got all the gaskets that we need. The only one that's not in here that I believe I'll probably need and I will swap out is the rear seal, rear engine seal. I don't believe that's in this kit. I have to dig around in it and find out. But if it's not there, I'll get it, because while you're in there, replace it. Don't be taking things apart again because you failed to replace a part that you thought was good. So being that it's 20 years old, might as well. So back to the box of goodies. So rocker arms with the upgraded trunnions, so there's no needle bearings in there to go flying through your engine when things get squirrely. These are valve cover gaskets right there. New fuel injectors. I believe they're 36-pound injectors. Where is it? It doesn't say, but I believe they're 36-pound injectors. What else we got? High pressure oil pump, because while we're there, we're gonna do it. It's out here. Brand new camshaft. So right there is the specs on the cam. Is a 228, 232, 600, 0.600 inch, 112 LSA. I forgot the actual name of the camshaft itself, but what else we got? Brand new push rods, brand new Johnson lifters, header bolts because I snapped them, new timing chain. This is the main pulley bolt. I'm probably going to get an underdrive pulley, probably a 10%. I'm not going to go with the 25. Cook everything. ARP bolts. They may or may not be the right ones. Don't know yet, but we'll find out when we take the engine apart. Got some new lifter trays because, like I said, while you're in there, get it. Got the subframe connectors. We're going to stiffen this bad boy up. And from what I hear, people that put them in, it's great because now you don't need a specific jacking point. You can actually jack the car up from these things, and it's pretty solid. So there's some welding, some bolting. So obviously these go along the frame. These connect down by the rear suspension, and they bolt up to that. On the rear control arm, there's like a plate that sandwiches that up. So that's the plate that replaces it, I believe. So BMR gives you these QR codes to install these subframe connectors, but they do not work, so I'm going to have to contact them and get them to hopefully send me the directions to do it so I can do it right. So we'll get that at some point. I'll email them very soon, because that's like that's probably like the third or fourth thing I really want to do. I want to do suspension first and get that all done. Some other stuff. So here we got the Mishimoto radiator, which should help with cooling. It's bigger, it's lighter. Got the hoses and the thermostat in here, and these are radius rod bushings. Those things are notorious for going bad. They're in the front cradle, and there's a rod that goes from the front cradle all the way back into the front control arms. So you have the part that connects to the subframe and the cradle. That goes to the radius rod. That goes to your steering knuckle. So yeah, those are all the parts I have. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's expensive. You know, once you do heads and cam and gaskets and bolts and, you know, things add up, and especially suspension. So hope you enjoy the video. Hope you like and subscribe, and follow me on my journey to put this thing together, because I cannot wait until this thing's ripping around and hopefully not get any tickets. So we'll see. But you know, I have all these parts. I was going to do this work anyway. I'm not doing this for YouTube, but being that I have a GoPro and the stuff to do it, I'll show you, take you for the ride, and see if we get this thing built even better. So like I said, like and subscribe. Hope to see you in the future. These videos, commenting, got any questions, ask. You know, let me do the hard work, and I could show you how to do this properly. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.